Okay, I'm gonna throw out all the notable things that have happened since we last spoke.
Can we go back to somebody betting? What was it? I'm sorry. Give me the number that person bet on a parlay of Mike Jackson and Chris Cyborg.
I mean, let's just get he put $15,000 on that. Can we also just appreciate the fact that he parlayed a plus 700 and a minus 1,000? That's crazy stuff.
I'm reeling. I'm reeling.
Well, then he also took a single 15,000, another one 18,500, another one 22,000. So he had what is that? $55,000 invested into Mike Jackson.
I don't know.
By the way, it's great that we have a social media expert here. Is Elon Musk buying Twitter a big deal?
It's already done.
Oh, it's done while you were in there.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Well, I'd like when on CNN when they bring in the expert person to talk about something. How lucky are we that we have what is your title again?
Oh, good.
What's your title?
Social media director.
Yeah. We have an and now, Frank, can we get some breaking news?
Sure.
You're not supposed to say sure. You're supposed to do it. Doesn't have the same effect. Elon Musk has bought Twitter. Is that
the deal
legit?
is in place? The deal is in place.
Okay, sorry, screwed that up. What's the takeaway from this?
Yeah, if you've been following this story or him,
haven't really. I've been on spring break.
his platform is basically to take Twitter as a private company and open it up to less oversight, less restriction, more free speech.
Oh, wonderful.
So
more of a cesspool.
That is the future. Yes, I mean your interpretation. Sure, there are others who would say
it's going to turn into one big YouTube chat.
Yeah, it's possible, but yes, the impact will be based on what he has been broadcasting so far. The impact will be lesser restrictions on speech and more open.
Okay, but
so you think he can post his private jet locations?
Oh God, I think that was a question to you.
Yeah,
right.
I can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear Frank?
I'm in the same room as you.
So yeah, but it wasn't loud enough. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
What he said?
I'm not going to repeat it though.
Oh, so then you didn't hear what he said.
We're just moving on.
He asked, "What was it? Can he post his location?"
You didn't even hear him, and he's coming through on the mic.
In any event, is this good or bad?
I mean, it depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you.
Is it? Yeah, I mean, is it good for who? For me?
Is it good for the platform?
That's an impossible question to ask. Is it good? Is
this a plus?
Is this a shift in the world good or bad?
Is this a good thing or a bad thing? This is where you live.
This is the worst.
I don't know.
As one of the best interviewers in the entire world,
I feel like this is a very simple question.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Is shifting the entire direction of one of the most powerful social media platforms in the world good or bad?
Yes.
As one of the best.
I actually don't know how to feel.
I think this is your worst question ever.
No.
I think it's possible that this is your worst question ever.
Listen. They say that the best questions are the most simple ones. Who, what, where, why, when, how, all that stuff, right?
If you, okay, I will qualify the answer. If you are somebody who wants anything and everything to be said on social media and don't want anything to be restricted and want there to be no bumpers on the bowling alley, you're happy. If you're somebody who cares about now again, this is based on what he's been saying. We don't know what in action will happen once he takes Twitter private and it becomes his company to run, and who will be on the board and all those different things. If you're somebody who wants increased censorship on things like hate speech and this and that, and to be more proactive in their approaches, which has been something that Twitter has been trying to take and people have been calling for Twitter and other social platforms to do, this may be moving backward. Again, we don't know until it takes course and takes action. But yeah, for you, somebody who's like, get these people out of my damn replies and
no, I would never say so.
It's probably not going to be great.
I love Twitter. What are you talking about? Twitter's been good to me.
They always
are. Blocked half the entire user
I'm not a big.
Yeah.
The only time I block people. No. The only time I block people is when they reply when I post the lineup for the show and include. If you're including the person in the week lineup tweet, I'm blocking you. No, I don't care if it's my mom, my sister, my wife.
Wow.
I don't care.
Fina would never.
No, she wouldn't. But the point is, it's just an incredibly rude thing to do. It's just
I agree with you. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm joking to an extent, although, you've had better days.
Wow. Okay.
Is it a good or bad? Is it good or bad is like, I don't know. We really have to see. Like, actually, just 9 minutes ago, he posted a statement. Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans. So he wants it to be actual people as opposed to bots.
That's a good thing.
With free speech. Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it. So a little bit of a step back from like anybody can say anything. He wants you to be accountable. He wants you, based on what he's saying here, he wants it to be people known, like not just bots, like people who are saying these things. But free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy is a potential.
There's one other line that you missed. And one of my first acts of business is promoting all effed Friday tweets.
Can we get breaking news on that? The effed Friday is going to be the new. But yeah,
Frank only responds when I tell him to do the breaking news.
The impact to social media will be very significant. Whether you fall on one side or the other, this is big. Like Twitter going private, Twitter being purchased by a man and a company who has had a very successful company with Tesla previously and others, and trying to launch rockets with SpaceX. It is going to be significant. There's going to be an impact. Now, whether it's favorable for you or your neighbor or whoever else, depends on where you fall on the issues. But yeah, this is big. This is a very big thing in the social space, and probably wider. Like everybody uses it.
Yeah. All right.
Speaking of Twitter, some additional breaking news here. If I can get my screen up on there, our boy Danny Sabatello.
Oh yeah,
he's actually created a Twitter. They said he should create a Twitter.
Oh,
I mean, maybe there it is, right there.
Wow,
look at this.
He's on Twitter.
World. He just tweeted this out. Yeah, thought long and hard about my first tweet. Here it is. Higo sucks. His bio. Not even gonna bother reading his bio.
I can't see it.
Yeah,
I can't read it.
It's free speech. Let's just
free speech. Yeah, it's just FU.
Oh, it says FU in the bio.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Long form though.
This guy's the best.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Danny Sabatello. I just had a.
Oh, I love this.
As we're on the subject.
I mean, that is worthy of breaking news, Frank. Sabatello is the man. I see it here. His ad is "Shock This World." That was such a great promo.
Yeah. I mean, a must follow in my opinion. So shout out to...
you know what's so funny about it? The way he was standing. Wait. Sorry. I got the thing up here. Wait, I got to play this.
An undefeated fighter. Talk to me about how you feel.
Yeah, I feel fucking great. It was a really good fucking performance by me. Sorry for swearing about that. Fuck that. But Jornell Lugo's an absolute stud. And for me to do that to a guy like him, I could beat any fucking body. And now Leandro Higo is next.
This is the best part.
Perfect fucking matchup, me and him. Because you look at him, he fucking sucks. You look at me, and I'm really good. Let's go.
I love it.
The best part is he doesn't say, and I'm just really good. He effing sucks, but I'm really good. Golly, he sounds exactly like Joe Pesci.
Yeah, the accent. I think without the accent, I don't know if it gets there. Like I feel like the accent is part and parcel. Is
the blonde hair too is phenomenal.
Everything about it. The tan, the look. I mean, it's amazing. And then Stotts came by on Saturday, and he was on fire too. Okay, so these are all the things that happened since we last spoke. So we spoke about Francis, AJ McKee. Totally. I have to say, I thought he lost. Just for the record, I thought he lost. I thought Pitbull won. And you can't talk like that. And even if you win via decision, a 48-47, it's like, now he's not a free agent, by the way. There's still a couple of fights left. But AJ McKee loses, so he's no longer undefeated. Now Pitbull's the champ, and it looks like his days of fighting at 145 are done.
He's done with 145.
Can we get the details on a couple fights left? Was it he was talking about Champions Clause? Is it that he gets 3 fights added, and now he has 2 fights left, essentially? Okay, got it.
But he's going to go at 50. I mean, I guess he could go up to 55 and fight the brother. But, I mean, it just feels like some of the luster is gone now.
Yeah, but
it's definitely gone.
Yeah,
it is. But
Bellator was real mad at me after that interview. I mean, it's like, I didn't say that stuff. He said it. What are you getting mad at me for?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to open that can of worms. But he's got 2 fights, and then he's figuring out his future.
He'll be fine. People lose.
I don't think that hurts him too much.
It's a minor blip. You can't talk about $1 million and lose the next fight.
He got $1 million already. He should be worth $1 million.
It's hard. It's hard to negotiate that way.
Talk about smoking Alexander Volkanovski and look like that. That is what you can't do. You can't talk about not impressed by Alexander Volkanovski, who's been smoking top competition and beat Max Holloway twice, and then go out and put on that stinker. That's
go
what you
out,
can't do.
put on that stinker, and then say you're done at 145.
Yeah,
it's tough.
But I think it's fine. He'll get another fight against one of the Pitbull brothers. He'll make his money. Like he's worth it. He's still.
I'm not saying he's not worth it. It was just a tough, 72 hours.
Yes.
He is one of the top prospects in the sport, regardless.
I agree with that.
Of course. I mean, again, as Andreas said, Makhachev once got knocked out. People think Tebow. I'm not saying he's done. I was just saying it was a tough stretch for him.
Yeah.
And I also thought he lost, by the way.
He didn't back up the talk. He clearly lost. He lost that fight. And as you said, even if he didn't lose, that wasn't the performance you needed. But I don't think it hurts him too bad. I think it's really like at in Bellator, how far are you away from a title shot at any given point? Like the dude could walk into the next division and fight for the title. Like he'll by next fight. I predict by next fight, and now we can talk about the timeline and this and that, and you can hold me to however long I said it. By his next fight, people will be forgetting about this. He'll come out, he'll look great, and people will forget that this even happened. And then they'll be talking about, oh boy, he's got one fight left till he's a free agent.
Well, we don't know if they're going to run it back, if they'll ever run it back. We do know that they're probably going to run back Vadim Nemkov and Corey Anderson. That ended unceremoniously. Tough spot for Anderson. He was up. He alerts the ref of the clash. He's sitting back, calling himself the best light heavyweight in the world. Had he won, he could make that claim. I don't know if there were still 2 rounds left.
There were 2 rounds left, and every judge, because like Bellator PR tweets out the scorecards, every judge had it 19-19 going into the second. You have to assume Anderson was going to win that round. So he's up, 29-28 going into the 4th round? Like it's
not a foregone conclusion.
Yeah. Like you don't know what was going to happen in the 4th round or the 5th.
I'm not buying all the, you all know that I'm the best, and I like.
Everyone's saying Corey Anderson was just like cruising to a win when he was in a 29-28.
Right. It was a good performance, but it wasn't a done deal.
That's what I think.
I'm with both of you on that, but I will say what tends to happen is Corey Anderson gets removed from the conversation because he's not in the UFC. What tends to happen is like he's over there in the B leagues, he's not beating anybody. Truth be told, Corey Anderson could compete with these guys in the UFC, has competed with these guys in the UFC, and I think that's more the takeaway and what he's.
Oh, he's in that conversation. He beat Glover.
Yeah.
4 years ago, but he still beat him.
That's the important takeaway, as opposed to like, is he the best in the world? That fight didn't show me that. Like, that wasn't the one that would have told me, but I don't think any one fight is going to. But I think he belongs in that conversation, and he needs to keep reminding people, because what will inevitably happen is he's not in the UFC, he's not in that weekly grind, he's not in people's radars every week. He's gone. He might as well be gone. And this was him showing like, look, I am in this conversation.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not a horrible thing for Bellator because now you have the rematch. There wasn't a sure thing for the next fight.
I mean, it sucks to not, like, those dudes were competing for $1 million and now they're delayed on that.
They brought the check in. That
sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. That does suck. What about Carmouche beating Velasquez? Twitter seemed to think that it was a bad stoppage, and then I tweeted that I didn't love it, and then I got blasted for it. What do you think, GC?
I don't know. I think you can make the argument that it didn't necessarily need to be stopped, but then a lot of people are coming in saying she had no defense. It was a bunch of elbows to the face. But then in that one, like, you look at the judges' scorecards, like Velasquez, on 2 of the judges' scorecards, she was already at 30-27. So, like, it feels more regretful that they stopped it. Like, it wasn't like Carmouche was just, like, dominating. She was losing the fight pretty handily. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they should have stopped it right there.
You're always told that you shouldn't look at the clock. So you see some people saying, oh, there was 10 seconds left. It doesn't matter if there's 10, 4 minutes. York Ric actually loved the stoppage.
I don't love the stoppage.
You told me you loved it.
No, I didn't love it. No, I did not tell you that. So don't lie. What I told you is I'm perfectly fine with it. Right. No issue with it. No, that's not.
I don't think that's a bad take. Like, being okay. Like, she was getting elbows dropped onto her face, like, repetitively.
I think it's a fundamental thing more so than this particular case, which is every time there's a late stoppage, the Twitter people come out in droves to say fighter safety should protect them, yada yada yada. This is the other side of that coin and what you have to live with if you're on that side of the fence. There is no such thing as every ref is going to have the perfect stoppage at the perfect time every single time. If we are going to continue to talk about fighter safety, brain health, yada, yada, and so on and so forth, then you have to live with stoppages like this at times where they may be a little bit early, but they're in a bad position and not be up in arms about it. It's okay to say, hey, I didn't agree with that stoppage. Let's try and run it back. Perfectly fine with that. But if we're all going to fall on the side of fighter safety, can't believe how late that stoppage was, this is the preferable outcome. It's better to stop it early than it is to stop it late if you're on that side of the discussion. So enough. I've had enough of this. Like, this is egregious. Like, it was fine. Okay if they didn't agree. Okay if the promotion wants to run it back. But this was not like, this isn't getting me up in arms. It's really not.
That's fair. Cyborg won the next night. Again, it was a fine fight. To me, Chris Cyborg and Kayla Harrison are the two most interesting fight. Like, they are the most interesting fight for each other, and they're both fighting a bunch of people that no one wants them to see fight against, and they're all just sort of their fights. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Arlene Blanca, but there was no desire to see that fight again. Mm-hmm. And it's just like we're running on this treadmill here.
It was a kind of fun fight to watch, and it was just domination by Cyborg.
You even there was the knee situation that made things a little bit interesting, but it felt like a done deal before the fight even started. It was closer than the first fight, but
I think it's fair to say that Arlene Blencowe put on a better performance than most people expected her to, but it still wasn't a thrilling fight, and it still wasn't a fight that anybody was clamoring for. But I thought she gave a great account of herself. She looked good. There were times where she was. I'm
just tired of these like.
But did we need to see a rematch? We didn't.
No.
And the truth is, that's what's left for Cyborg right now. Like, it's Kat Zingano or nothing. Oh well, I'm in her promotion. Like,
Yeah, but she's a free agent in the summer. Let's go PFL. PFL keeps talking about doing a co-pro.
Why not just sign her out? Right?
Yeah. Why would Bellator sign her to do a co-promotion with you? Either she's signing with Bellator.
Wait, so when is she up? How many fights does she have left?
No, it's a term thing with her.
Oh, interesting. And when? Summer?
Summer.
Ooh.
That could have been her last fight. If PFL comes strong, that could be her last fight.
Peter Murray was on here talking about
I know.
One-off fights, like fight night events that were not necessarily part of a season.
Yeah,
things like that.
Let's go.
I mean,
by the way,
that makes all the
we
sense.
saw a great situation with Yancy Medeiros this past weekend.
No.
Where he signed a one-fight deal because it made sense for him to fight in Hawaii. Why can't that be the norm? Just sign a one-fight deal. Have Cyborg sign a one-fight deal in PFL. Now, if she wins, there could be something that kicks in because you don't want her to walk away off a win. Maybe then you do the immediate rematch clause, something. But we need to get into this flow of these one-fight or two-fight deals.
If you're PFL, are you signing a one-fight deal for Cyborg to potentially come in, take your belt, and then walk away?
I'm signing a one-fight with an immediate rematch. Why not? You're doing pay-per-view.
I don't love it.
You're doing pay-per-view.
I don't love it.
You're doing pay-per-view. What else are you going to do on pay-per-view?
Yeah, I mean, clearly they think they have something else on pay-per-view. Clearly they're already banking on it. But yeah, I don't know about the idea of signing a one-fight deal. I don't know about that. For the fighter, great. If you want to be LeBron James and you're just like, hey, I choose where I go every single time, that makes a lot of sense to me. I think it'd be great, advantageous for the fighter. I don't love that if you're the promotion. It just doesn't make sense. Why would I let Cyborg potentially come?
No, there's got to be a +1.
Wins twice and walks away with my belt. Not great.
Listen,
not great.
You roll the dice. Do you believe in your fighter or not?
Well, now, okay, but isn't Cyborg your fighter too? Does that become...
No, do you believe in the face of your promotion? You're bringing her in to make this super fight.
Yeah, that feels too much...
Eddie Hearn is doing a deal with Most Valuable. He's got Katie Taylor. They're in it together.
Boxing is different.
I'm just saying, we need to start learning from boxing a little bit.
Each fight is a one fight. Each fight is...
I like that.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
The promotions don't exist like that. I can't see it.
Jessica Andrade with the standing arm triangle, pretty damn impressive. Tyson Pedro coming back after 4 years away with an impressive win. Canada with a big night at the Apex. Marc-André Barriot and Charles Jourdain, who will be on the program on Wednesday, have no fear. That was impressive stuff. Claudio Puelles with the knee bar, impressive. Robert Whittaker out of the Marvin Vettori fight, unfortunately, in June. That was a bit of a bummer.
Can we pause here for one second?
Yeah, please. This is why I want you to pause anytime something...
Marvin Vettori.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this guy? He gets a lot of hate.
Yeah.
He's a little bit abrasive. He had the shorts on backwards. There's reasons he refuses to accept that Israel Adesanya beat him twice. There's reasons for people to have things to say about Marvin Vettori. One thing you will never say about Marvin Vettori, that dude is as game as they freaking come.
I agree.
That dude does not care who's in front of him any given week, will fight anybody, has had a string of bad luck of opponents just like dropping out completely. Marvin Vettori is a legit fighter, like born fighter in his blood. That dude deserves a lot of credit for the way he operates.
I agree 100%.
That dude deserves a lot of credit for the way he operates.
I agree. Respect. Now he's stuck in a weird spot. I don't know who he's going to fight.
I mean, that was the fight. That was the fight. And for him, it's like that was the fight that would get him back toward a title shot.
I kind of wish it was Strickland versus Vettori.
That fight made sense. But man, the Strickland Pereira fight makes a lot of sense.
I'm actually surprised they booked that fight.
No, I can't wait.
Which one?
It's a big jump from what Pereira has been doing.
Makes the perfect sense. It's the perfect style matchup for him to get a title shot.
Sure. Oh, it's the perfect fight if you're trying to kill off Strickland.
Yeah.
I think maybe. I mean, I don't know if they're trying to kill off Strickland, but I think they're trying to springboard.
Yeah.
Pereira.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're like, we can't be having Sean Strickland fighting for a belt with the crazy stuff that he says.
Oh, come on. They don't care about that.
Yeah, they don't care. They
don't care about that. Stop that. And now Twitter is open to the world.
Yeah. Mohamed Mokaev has his next fight, Charles Johnson, July 23rd. Keep an eye on that date, potentially the return to the UK. Although that was really interesting what Dan Hardy said about Liverpool. Bilal Muhammad with the big win, calling out Colby. Did Bilal fumble in the post-fight call-out? I didn't think it was so bad. People were like, oh, you should have called out Khamzat. Yeah, I saw him get a lot of hate for that. No? All right.
I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, that's it.
I think he's going to get who he's going to get.
I actually can see a scenario where they try to do Khamzat versus Colby. Colby says no, and then they do Khamzat versus Bilal.
So then did he fumble if he gets the fight anyway?
Well, I don't know.
Come on, stop this. Colby is fine. Everybody call out Colby. It doesn't matter.
Mike Tyson punched a guy in an airplane for being annoying. Michael Bisping and Jake
more than being annoying. Wait.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Let's not move past that so quickly. He was harassing him.
Oh, it was horrible.
I'm not about to say like people should get punched. Like
no, that was deserved, 100%.
The dude was harassing him.
What was up with that
First
guy?
of all, are you out of your mind to be harassing Mike Tyson? Like this dude, I don't want to go down a bad rabbit hole and go back too far into this past, but this man's been in jail. Like this dude is not like Uncle Mike. Like there's a guy in him that's not like
a tortured
your
soul.
Friendly,
yes.
Yeah, like you're not your friendly dude.
By the way, is Tyson in trouble?
I haven't seen anything, but like I hope that dude is in big trouble and banned from that airline and banned from any airline and like isn't allowed to like do this again. That dude was harassing him like straight up, and he has to be left alone. He deserved what came to him in there.
How no one stopped the guy before this? It was like a kid. His
friends are recording it.
I know, but it was crazy. Like someone on the plane needed to come up to like this is like a kid with a fork just sticking it into an outlet, or that like I mean, or you're at the zoo and you're like, "Hello, little lion." Yeah. You know, let me play around with your food. It's crazy.
That was insane.
Bisping and Jake Paul going back and forth. Nothing really there.
Well, I mean, there's a native tribal land that's willing to give him a
Calgary.
Yeah, willing to give him a license.
By the way,
they don't have licenses as they said.
I've decided what the move is. The move is Tommy Fury in the UK. No, in the UK. Come on.
Would you be yawning for a Bisping fight?
No, I'd be. Amped.
No, I don't want the Bisping.
I think
fight.
Bisping would lose.
Bisping has one eye.
That's what
and he's in his 40s.
I just don't. I think Jake Paul would win.
Yeah, it's not a crazy. It's not a crazy.
Paul Silva. I would love Tommy Fury too. That dude is not a good boxer.
I would love to see Anderson Silva.
But isn't that the move right now?
Why? Here's what I'm not convinced
Everyone
of,
wants him to fight someone his age and a boxer. That's his age and that's a boxer.
Let me ask you something that's very important that I think gets forgotten in this conversation. Is Tommy Fury that big a draw? Like, does anybody care about Tommy Fury? Because I'm not.
He's a draw in the UK.
The name is an aura
about Tommy
Fury. And also, by the way, Jake Paul's a big draw in the UK. Like, I think that fight is a bigger draw than here.
You could put him against anybody. Does he need to fight Tommy Fury? I don't think Tommy Fury brings anything to that fight. Straight up.
Yo, he's a big deal.
He's not.
Yes.
The fact that he's a boxer.
He's a reality show dude. Love Island. Everyone knows him.
Everybody's talking about this, but like, is he a big deal? Can he sell a pay-per-view? I'm not convinced. This dude stinks. He was on the undercard of the prelims for a reason.
No. He was first fight on main card.
Okay, whatever it is. He wasn't the co-main event.
It wasn't a great fight.
And it was a bad fight. I am not convinced that Tommy Fury is a draw. You could talk about he was on a reality TV show. That's great.
I just think it would sell.
He's got millions of followers. If they did it in UK.
Did a real bad pay-per-view against Tyson, against Tyron Woodley.
It's because there was no market for that. No one wanted.
There's no market for this either.
In the
Tommy
UK,
Fury is,
you were good on the takes today. This is a bad one.
No, man.
Okay, but
you're telling me Tommy Fury's a draw. Everybody's saying that. Prove it.
In the arc of his career.
Okay, the only way to prove it is to do the fight.
Are you putting Tommy Fury against anybody on pay-per-view?
It can only be Jake Paul.
But Tommy Fury isn't.
Jake Paul.
He's an 8-0 boxer. Tommy Fury. He's not.
You can find a Tommy Fury.
Abnormal.
They're a dime a dozen.
Okay, so who does he fight? Who does he fight?
Anybody. Bisping's more interesting.
No.
More interesting.
I disagree.
Bisping has one eye.
Yeah, and he's better than Tommy Fury.
And then the haters will be like, "You fought an old guy with one eye."
Yes,
you think Jake Paul cares about that?
No, but
the haters will say that.
But isn't this exactly what the people are saying? They're saying he's not fighting guys his age, and he's not fighting boxers.
Jake Paul's pay-per-views. Those people. Are they plopping down their money or are they stealing it?
But here's the thing: we were going to see Fury in December in Tampa. But now you add the layer of like, you know what? I'm going to go to the UK where there's crooked judges and all this stuff, and I'll beat you there. That's a pretty damn cool move.
Nobody cares about Tommy Fury. Prove it to me. Bisping can sell pay-per-views.
I think there were like 30,000 people in that stadium.
Michael Bisping can sell pay-per-views. Can Tommy Fury?
I'm looking
Show
at the
me.
picture. I don't know if it was 30.
Show me.
No, 20,000.
Show
it wasn't
me
that empty.
Show me that Tommy Fury can sell. I've not seen it.
But
nobody's convinced me.
Okay, then let me ask you this: how many people know 8-0 boxers? You don't know any. So he's the anomaly. Right. So that's the thing because of his famous last name. So take the famous last name, take the famous father, take the famous half brother, and take the year of back and forth social media stuff, take the bad blood, and stick them in the Manchester arena.
You can do better.
I don't know if there's a better.
Can do better.
Who's better right now?
The only one that I'm more interested in is Anderson Silva.
But again, then people say he's too old. Then
I feel that, but I also think Anderson Silva actually has a chance of beating him.
Anderson Silva.
Okay,
Michael Bisping.
I don't think Bisping
does. But here's the thing. To me, the debate isn't who's going to beat Jake Paul. The debate is how does Jake Paul navigate this career that he has, right? So I'm almost thinking as Jake, I'm thinking of Nikisa, I'm thinking of their perspective. They're the ones deciding which chess pieces are moving, right? So and I agree with you, Anderson has a chance to beat Jake Paul. Tommy doesn't. So Tommy checks off multiple boxes and he's
What boxes
beatable.
does Jake Paul... So essentially what your argument
Anderson
boils
Silva
down to...
a bigger pay-per-view draw?
Than Tommy Fury?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Come on.
I don't know about that.
I will say Rick asked what boxes Tommy Fury checks, and you mentioned them. It's someone his age, and it's an actual.
Yes.
Okay, but here's what your argument boils down to is you think that they care more about checking these boxes than they care about making money. That's not the case.
I think they want both. They want
both, and Anderson Silva's that answer. And Michael Bisping is more of that answer. Tommy Fury, you could tell me he was on a reality show. You ever seen it?
Yeah,
you know anybody
Netflix.
who watched
Love
it?
Island, Molly
you know
May.
anybody
Yeah,
who
my
watched
sister.
it?
My sister legit watched it.
Okay, so is your sister buying the pay-per-view?
Oh, yeah, she's all in.
That's the answer. Tommy Fury ain't drawing. Tommy Fury's not a draw.
Here's the thing.
Period.
He's got millions of social media.
Yes. And by the way,
so does Paige Van Zandt. Did she draw for BKFC?
Anderson, well, according to them, she did, whatever that ceiling is. But Anderson isn't going to sell this fight. And by the way, I love Anderson. I'll be happy to have the Anderson fight, but I'm just trying to figure this out from the perspective. What you're, I think, not taking into account is Tommy in the UK is the move, not Tommy in some random American city. That's a big scene.
Who's buying it?
Well, if you're going to, here's the thing. If you're going to do the pay-per-view in the UK, you're kind of like punting on the American pay-per-view, number one. But number two, I actually think the move, like if, and far be it for me to tell them what to do, I actually think Jake should get off pay-per-view.
Okay, if that's now that's changing
because his fan base isn't a pay-per-view fan base.
If we're doing something like that, now Tommy Fury makes
do a deal with
sense.
Amazon or something. Do a deal with or put it on Showtime and get 1 million viewers on Showtime.
Okay, now I'm open to Tommy Fury. Now I all of a sudden become open to Tommy Fury.
But you see why I'm saying that? His fan base isn't a pay-per-view fan base. Like
and Tommy Fury ain't bringing it either. So that's a zero for them. That's a loss. That's a loss.
I just think it would be a scene. I could see him walking out there with the top hat. And
if you want to do local fights in the UK, just put on a local fight in the UK. Do a smoker. Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury.
You can't say Tommy Fury is a local fight. Like he's a big name.
What has he proven? Is he a big name?
Yes, he is. How many followers does he have?
How many shows has he even had?
4 million.
Has this dude even headlined a boxing fight?
No, but he's an 8-0 boxer. That's the point. The point is he's the rare 8-0 boxer that people actually know about because of his famous last name and the platform he's been on.
If you're Jake Paul, why do you care about that? Why would you care about that?
Because you check off the box of, hey, I fought a boxer my age.
Well, who cares? So you're saying...
Well, he clearly cares. He's doing
this is what Jake Paul's
tracks about people.
This
he
is
clearly cares.
This is what's going to happen. Jake Paul's gonna check off these boxes that you've presented, and everybody's all of a sudden going to be like, oh, sorry, I was wrong. Jake Paul's
and then we go
deal.
to the next one.
The
whole thing. Look,
silly.
people said, oh, you beat a social media guy?
Silly.
Okay, what next?
Silly,
I'm going to beat an NBA player, and then I'm going to beat an MMA fighter.
Jake Paul is not in this for the long haul. He needs to make the most money he can. He's not a career fighter. He's done soon.
I think
ain't Tommy Fury.
I think he makes just as much money fighting Tommy as he does Anderson.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm being serious.
MMA fans will plop down for Anderson, 100%. They're not plopping down for Tommy Fury. Nobody cares.
I think
Nobody cares.
I think
a lot of people watch.
I think MMA fans are plopping down on their couch to steal the Anderson fight. They ain't plopping down to pay for anything.
They ain't paying for Tommy Fury.
Yeah, but the Love Island crowd is.
Oh, the Love Island. Your sister's sitting there
$4 million
ordering this pay-per-view.
Big pay-per-view.
Dude, you guys are confusing like trash talk and social media and that with like actually selling pay-per-views. This happens in the UFC a lot too. Like some people are draws, some people are not. I haven't seen it. Tommy Fury ain't it.
All right.
Anderson Silva has headline pay-per-views for millions of dollars.
Yeah, but not at this point. He headlined a pay-per-view in 2012 with Chael Sonnen 10 years ago.
You know what? He's still headlining shows at least. He's still at least headlining cards.
You know what's going to happen. He's going to fight him. They're going to say he's an old guy, blah, blah, blah.
So what? He's going to make more money. So what?
Is he going to sell the fight?
What even is the question here? Like what?
Anderson Silva.
He's saying Anderson's a better idea than fighting. I'm not saying fighting Tommy. Fighting Tommy in America doesn't do anything for me. Fighting Tommy in the UK is sexy.
Okay. We're trying to decide the best move.
Goal is
the best move,
to do what though? Fight Tommy Fury in the UK to do what?
It's the next step.
Yeah, man. So then who's after Tommy Fury?
Oh, we'll worry about that later.
Come on, man. It's the next step to nothing. It means nothing. It means nothing. A win over Tommy Fury does not mean anything.
Nathan
and if
Diaz.
That's the case, it needs to be worth it. Money.
Nathan Diaz isn't a fan of the NFTs.
Yeah.
Clay Collard wins again. Clay Collard is the UFC killer.
30-27.
Yeah, all he does is kill the ex-UFC guys.
Yeah.
That was 30-27 for sure.
Yeah, he beat him up. Come on.
30-27.
What do you got?
What did you think? You thought Stevens won?
No, not the fight. But I thought that he got around at least. Like it was 30-27 clear across the board.
Great idea here from Shaheen.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too.
Have Anderson be the fight. Have Bisping be the mouthpiece. Man, that would be fun.
I mean, we're just cooking with gas right now. Love Island. He was on Love Island.
Okay.
And meanwhile, he's
I'll
buried
counter
on
that.
cards. Nobody's ever seen him.
I'll counter that with
Tyson?
Tommy be the fight. Have John and Tyson be the mouthpiece in the UK.
Yeah. Meanwhile, every time they get on the mic, they're burying the kid as if he can't do anything.
No, they're
right.
not.
Yeah,
He's talking about his freaking girlfriend. He's crazy, John Fury. The guy's.
They don't exactly like big up Tommy the way that you would think, and for good reason.
Dricus Duplessis has a fight against Brad Tavares, UFC 276. Cejudo says he's coming back. Dana White continues to say he's retired. It's the craziest thing. He keeps saying he's coming back, and Dana keeps saying he's retired.
He did like a whole video that he's like, "I'm back."
Yeah, he's like,
Dana White.
Let's go back to reality, though. I think Henry Cejudo will get a fight. Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
He's just like kicking him.
That's good, though. That's good.
It's fun.
Dricus, I'm probably going to bet on him again. Pray that I can actually see him fight.
That'd be great.
I know he's turned into a joke purposefully, the cringe stuff. But like one of the best combat sports athletes of all time is going to fight again. It's a good thing.
I'm down with him fighting Volkanovski.
Yeah,
yes,
he's made it.
I'm so down for that.
I would be so hyped for that.
He's made it bad, but like the dude is one of the best ever, and I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he will fight again.
Ioanni and Jacek, Zhang Wei Li official 3 rounds, not 5.
Wish it was 5.
I'm okay with it. Enough of this 5-round non-title fight nonsense.
Same.
If you want it to be 5 rounds, make it a main event.
Wish it was 5.
Agree.
Neil Magny, the man, balls of steel, doesn't get Khamzat, gets the guy who might be as tough as Khamzat, just not nearly as well known as Khamzat.
Yeah.
He gets Shavkat Rakhmonov. I mean, golly.
Just copy and paste what I said about Vettori and then just put it on, on Neil Magny, and then we can...
Yes.
Unbelievable. Neil Magny, much respect. Will Brooks is knocking at the door, says he wants to get back in there. And a couple of boxing. Spence Crawford, is it happening? Is it not? I continue to say that boxing never happening.
They don't want to make the damn fight. What do you want to say?
I think it's happening.
It's been forever.
No, I feel like
how many times have we been here?
It feels like there's something going on in boxing where there is this desire. Yeah, I mean, look at Taylor Serrano. That was never happening, and they made that. Kambosos fighting Devin Haney.
Taylor Serrano was not a this is never happening fight.
Oh, yes. Oh, 100%.
Ah, man.
Yo, that fight was like in talks for 6 years or something crazy like that.
Yeah, but their careers weren't like on hold while they were talking about this.
I'm not saying on hold. I'm not saying it's as big as Spence Crawford.
Are just like digging opponents out of nowhere. Like these dudes have been on a collision course from
Spence dominated Ugas. Like it's time. Like if you're gonna do it,
we didn't get Joshua Fury. We didn't get Spence Crawford. They've been talked about forever. There's nothing that tells me that boxing makes the fights that we need to see. Nothing.
I feel like we're moving in that direction slowly.
I hope so. I love it. It's
never going to be like a blanket thing. There's still always going to be PBC not wanting to work with Matchroom and this and that. But I'm just saying, I feel like there's more of a, I don't know, more of a push to try to make these fights. I don't know. I'm holding out hope.
I'm not there yet, but that is the fight of all boxing fights. Any weight class, anything that I want to see the most. That is the boxing fight.
Oh yeah,
but I'm 1 and 2 right now in the pound for pound rankings.
No,
Canelo would be 1.
No, Canelo.
But I mean, it would be pretty damn close. It'd be pretty damn close. And the last thing, which affects not only boxing but MMA as well, the Daniel Kinahan situation with MTK now closing and the U.S. Treasury putting sanctions on him and the $5 bounty on any information. And then literally
$5 million.
$5 million. What did I say? $5? Jesus, everyone would be coming out of the woodwork. $5 million. Literally days after Munir Lassay giving him the shout out.
I'll be shouting him out, yeah.
On the ESPN broadcast. And then shout out to journalist Alan Dawson at the press conference, asked him a bunch of questions about it. And then people were saying move on. And the guy's asking him questions about something he gave a shout out to or about. But this is a story that has been, I think it's been very much a boxing story, but I'm not going to say it's as much an MMA story, but I mean, Darren Till I've asked Darren about Daniel multiple times. Darren has taken pictures with him. Again, not as much involved in MMA, but certainly has had ties, and MTK has ties to MMA as well. They represent some guys. Going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. Tyson Fury as well.
I'll point out here that the official line from MTK has always been Daniel has not been involved since they took over the promotion. The new group of people has taken over the promotion. Whether that's factual or not is for somebody else to decide. But that they have said that he has not been involved in their business. And then separately, you have guys like Darren Till Munir saying that they were friends with him and that their relationship is separate. So it's a very complicated, kind of muddy situation in terms of what's the truth and what's not in terms of what his actual connections are. But it seems like every fighter who's been in that situation has just essentially said, look, I have a personal relationship. It's not related to that. And then they don't want to talk about it anymore.
And then Bob Arum is saying he's getting too involved and he's getting too greedy and he's getting, I mean, Tyson was getting mad about those questions last week. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. If your MO when asked about him is to shut it down and then people continue to ask about it, I get, why, but I also understand this is what has to be done. The questions need to be asked. It is as relevant and and important as ever. That's the reality of the situation.
Someone asked me if they put the sanctions on because Tyson was fighting, if the timing, I don't know. It's impossible to know, but the timing wasn't great for Tyson, I'll tell you that much.
But are we talking about it now? This is the first thing about it that has been talked about it in terms of Tyson Fury. Everybody's talking about the knockout. Everybody's talking about Francis Ngannou.
Well, now
the tail on it is so short. Even if they did time it for that or intended for it to be that kind of conversation, it's the world has moved on from Tyson's connection to it, and it's just he's the best ever. This and that. So
do.
as it does. So I don't know if there's a way to perfect that kind of thing. There was one more thing.
PFL?
No, I'm the owner of the house.
Oh yeah, this is the biggest one, Frank.
And breaking news.
This is a crazy story.
One more thing happened.
Let's end on this.
I'm the owner of a new home out on Long Island. Shout out. Thank you. It's been a long process, a long journey. My family's going to be my family's the big winners here. But shout out
Yes.
to the best real estate agent in the business, Ragin Al Iaquinta of Ragin Al Realty, for getting it done. My real estate agent.
This is a shoot.
This is a shoot. Me and him came together, got the deal done.
When do you reach out to him?
Thanksgiving time? Christmas time? Like
you reach out to him, you say, I'm looking for a
that.
house. How is he? This is the big question I think everyone wants to know.
Yeah.
What is he like as a real estate agent?
The best. Just the GOAT. Goes to bat for you, gets you what you need.
You're going to open houses with Ragin Al.
Oh, open houses.
He's talking to you about the basement. It's finished. It's not finished.
Oh yeah, the dude's the GOAT.
He's taking calls at lunch from Al, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, hey Al,
so
I got to do this."
Little behind the scenes. So like Al's there with Aljamain, obviously.
What? Aljamain's coming to the open houses too?
No. Al is at Fight Week for Aljamain.
Oh right.
And I'm texting Al like, hey, we got the closing. I want to do the final walkthrough, this and that. Getting back to me like this dude's the man. This dude's the GOAT. So if you need a home on Long Island, there's only one place to
So it's not a gimmick. He is legit.
He's the man. He knows what he's doing.
He got it done. You love the place.
Love it. So happy.
Not only that, goes the extra mile. I mean, this to me was the most impressive part.
Yes.
Gets the cartoon drawing. Gets Bruce Buffer to announce it.
From Bruce Buffer, yeah.
I mean, that was incredible.
Did you know that was happening?
No. I mean, come on.
He surprised you with that. I saw that. I was like, wow, that's an incredible touch.
Nice.
That's class right there.
The man.
Pretty close to Amityville.
It ain't a gimmick.
Sketchy.
He's the best realtor in the biz.
Where is it? Or are you not allowed to say?
Long Island.
Pretty close to Amityville. Pretty sketchy.
What is Amityville?
No, it's not in Amityville.
Really, Ariel?
I just said pretty close to Amityville.
No, but what is that? Well, why is that sketchy?
The house in Amityville. No.
There was a haunted.
There's this thing called movies.
I just.
Well, it's a true story too. Just listen to a podcast on it. Great stuff.
I just watched Billy Madison.
Jesus, that's so grim. Jesus,
yeah, why would you say that? Yeah, jeez.
These are my kids. What's
just saying, look at a map.
I mean, what's wrong with you?
Wait, what's the movie? Is it like Friday the 13th? Is it Friday?
No, it's called like Amityville Horror. Like
whatever. No,
well, it's based on a true story.
Anyway, congratulations, Mazel Tov. I mean, come on.
What?
I mean, you got to look at a map before you move somewhere. You didn't think to do that.
I mean, the guy's having a moment here. He's excited.
I'm just saying, I'm not coming to the open house.
I mean, you weren't invited.
Is there going to be an open house? Is there going to be a party, housewarming?
Now I have to shorten the list a little bit. Maybe I don't say it over here.
No GC, no Killashaw's.
No, Killashaw's coming.
Oh, he is?
Killashaw's invited.
Yeah, good. Send Killashaw out to Amityville.
Killashaw, all our friends are coming.
And when do you move in?
Not yet. I got some time. I think we'll finish out the school year for my older daughter here in New York, and then move for next year.
Wow! Shout out to Ragin Al. What a legend, Ragin Al. I mean, people joke, people make wisecracks, but it's legit. Like he is living that life,
dude. I mean, obviously I know him, and we're talking like the dude's. He planned properly. He was.
I had no doubt.
Fighter, did what he needed to do to set himself up. Now he's doing great. He's doing great, and he says he's feeling healthy. So.
Did you ever record like I would love to see him taking you to an open house and being they've got to walk in.
Am I a weirdo? Like
no, I mean, it's just do people recognize him when you go to the open houses?
Yeah, there's there are people look, he's on Long Island. If there's people who know about the fight, you're gonna run into
that. Is so great. I love that guy.
It's the best.
One of the all-time.
I'm
best.
Happy, and I'm glad that we were able to get it done.
Well done, Mazel Tov to everyone involved. All right, well that's great news to end on. PFL back on Thursday. Solid little card there. UFC back on Saturday. And, of course, we've got the big Taylor Serrano fight. We're back on Wednesday.